This is Akemi with Geek, Dinks, and I'm here today to talk about my quest for the perfect headphones. As you can see, I have tried out several options, and I've played with them a little bit, and I've come up with my different categories of things that are important to me. Now, I realize the things that are important to me may not be important to everybody, but for the things that are important to me, and this is kind of the ranking that I ended up with for the headphones. All right, so let's talk about my scoring system. This is completely made up by me based on the things that are important to me, and I realize that most people will have different things that they consider important. So for the things that are important to me, these are the categories that I came up with. So first up, we have portability. How easy these headphones are to carry around for me in my purse. For other people, they might be carrying them around in their pockets. So portability is one of the things that's important to me. Next up, we have comfort. I think that's probably something that's important to everybody, but it's also a thing that is very dependent on the size of your ears, the shape of your ears, so comfort will vary widely. But I ranked these on the basis of comfort for my own ears. The next thing for me is whether or not they fall out. This is something that I have a really hard time with, finding earbuds that don't just fall right out of my ear when I move, when I eat, when I talk. So that's something that was extremely important to me. Next up, we have the sound quality. I know that for some people, the sound may be something that is super, super important to them. For me, I am not an audiophile, so sound really isn't that important to me, though I did try to rank the headphones based on sound as far as I could perceive it. Next up on my list is charge. How long the headphones held a charge, and for most of these, if they have a case that provides a charge, then that gives them bonus points, because when I put them away for the days and throw them in my purse, they will kind of regain their charge. Now, I am a person who has a hard time charging devices. J.P. Barnett, author of the critically acclaimed Floor Stalker series, in fact, his main character in book number 4, she has a problem charging her devices, and this causes a lot of the problems throughout the book. So that's sort of a little thing that's based on me. Something else that's important to me that's probably not important to everyone is color choices. For me, I really like being able to choose a fun color. Something that's not black, something that's not white. Next up, we have controls, and that is the ease of being able to, from the headphone itself, be able to change the volume and be able to pause and play. Another thing that I ranked them on is the ability to do exercise in them, including floor exercises, including being able to do sit-ups, being able to do yoga, the positions where you lay on the floor. I also ranked them on the ease of being able to put them on. Some of them are really easy to kind of just pop in your ear, and some of them take a little bit longer to get on. The next one is hair. This is something that's not going to be important for many of you if you have short hair, or if you don't play with your hair all day and kind of take it up and down. For me, how easy they were to get tangled in my hair, or how much they affected my ability to change my hair up throughout the day. And then my last category is how easy they were to pair. And not just pairing initially, but I use my headphones for my phone and then also for my laptop. So being able to switch back and forth quickly between two devices is something that is important to me. So these are the headphones that I am comparing today. These are the ones that I have been trying out for the last several months. So first up, we have the Anker Soundcore Life P2, and then we have the Aftershocks Titanium, the Samsung Buds Plus, the Samsung Buds Live, and then the Powerbeats Pro. For all of these different categories, I'm scoring them from a range of 1 to 3, 1 being the worst, 3 being the best, and then once I have all of the numbers, adding them up to give an overall score per headphone. So first up, we have the Anker Soundcore Life P2. It's not surprising that these come in at the bottom of the list. They are the cheapest of the headphones that I have today, coming in at $40 at Amazon. For the first ranking, portability. They come in this nice little case. It carries very well in my purse, and I think you could even fit this in a man pocket. You might not be able to fit it in a lady pocket, but I think you can fit this in a man pocket. So I gave that a 3. The next ranking, sound. I gave it a 2 for sound. They seem pretty good to me. They're not quite as good as some of the others, but as far as I could tell, they do have a decent sound. Next ranking is charge. And so for charge, because it has a charging case, I gave this a 3 for charge as well. And then for pairing, I gave these a 1. Switching back and forth between my phone and my laptop, I found I had a lot of trouble keeping them paired. The right and the left pair separately. So I had a lot of trouble transferring between my two devices, where I would be able to have one ear, but not the other. So I would say for pairing, especially if you are trying to use different devices, I would not recommend these. Next up, we have controls. Now these do have a button, so you can control the sound with the button, so that's handy, but some of the others have better controls, so I gave these a 1 compared to the others as far as the controls they provide. Next up comes comfort. I gave these a 2 on comfort. They were okay. They were okay as regards to comfort. And then we have color choices, and these come in the color black. So these get a 1 for color choices. And then we have how well these stay in. I found they did not stay in my ears very well at all, so I gave them a 1. And then as far as exercise is concerned, because they don't stay in, I gave them a 1 for exercise as well. The ease to put on, these are really simple to get in your ear, so I gave these a 3. And then for hair, I gave these a 3 as well. I was able to put my hair up and take it down without having to adjust the headphones. So those are the Anker Soundcore Life P2. After adding up all the numbers, they come up with an overall score of 21. Next up, we have the Aftershocks Titanium. Now I was really excited about these because they use a different kind of technology. They don't actually go in your ear, they actually rest on your cheekbones, and they vibrate your cheekbones for you to actually kind of hear that sound. As far as portability, these get a 1 for portability because they are so big and bulky, and they don't have a very protective case. I was a little bit worried about just tossing these in my purse. So portability, not the greatest there. As far as sound, these are definitely the worst sound of them all because they don't go in your ear and they use a different technology. So I gave these a 1 for sound. When you're listening to music, it does sound a little bit tinny. They do provide earplugs, so I played around with those a little bit, and when you're listening to music, without them, it sounds a little bit tinny. When you put the earplugs in, it actually makes people sound as if they're kind of underwater. So that was a little bit fun. So if you ever wanted to know what your favorite artist sounds like if they sing underwater, then this is a fun little experiment to try out. But it was perfectly reasonable. It wasn't unbearable to listen to that. As far as like podcasts, it was great. Next category is charge. So for these, they hold about a 6 or 8 hour charge, and that's it. So I was a little bit paranoid of these that I was going to run out of a charge. For charge, these get a 1. As far as pairing, these get a 3. I was able to pair them quickly and easily and able to use them with different devices without much of a problem. As far as controls, that's another one I gave it a 3. I really like, it's got volume controls right here on them. So it's really nice when you're listening to music to be able to quickly kind of toggle that sound up and down without having to go and find your phone and find your app that you're listening to and adjust the sound there. So I really liked the controls on these. And comfort, I gave these a 3 for comfort because they don't go in your ear, they're not uncomfortable in your ear. And then I would also give these a 3 for color choices. They don't come in quite as many different colors as some of the others, but still I was able to get kind of this red color instead of just a plain black. And then the next category, how well they stay on, I give these a 3. I was able to be active with them on and do different activities with them on without any problem. They only get a 1 for exercise. Now these would be great for running, great for biking, but I found that when I was doing floor exercises, sit-ups, or some of the different yoga poses where I was laying on my back, because this wraps around the back of your head, whenever I would lay down, they didn't fall off, but they didn't stay necessarily in place, and so there's a lot of adjusting there. As far as ease to put on, these get a 3. They're very easy to kind of put on your head. And then as far as my hair, these I only give a 1 because when I'm at work especially, I'm always putting my hair up and down. And so I actually found one day I started with my hair up and I put these on and I took my hair down, but I didn't adjust these. And so my hair actually was laying on the top of the back of this. And then my ears started hurting because my hair is so heavy, it actually started kind of pulling these down. So that is an overall score of 23. The price for these today is about $80. Now I've got the Samsung Galaxy Buds Plus. I've had these the longest. I picked these up in maybe February or March of this year, so I've definitely had lots of time to play with these. And there's a lot to like. As far as portability, these get a 3 for portability. This is an adorable little case. I think this would even fit in my pocket. It definitely fits in a man pocket, fits in my purse very handily. As far as sound, I would give these a 3 for sound as well. They have a very good sound quality, and now I'm not a sound expert, so I'm sure that you can get better sound than this, but as far as sound from a headphone, from an earbud, these definitely have a good sound. And then charge, these also get a 3. Because they have this case that holds an extra charge, it really extends the life of your earbuds between charging. And then pairing. Pairing, these also get a 3. I was able to switch between my phone and my laptop without too much trouble at all. And then for controls, I gave these a 2 for controls. One of the neat things about these is that they have an app for their headphones, and you can actually kind of change out some of the behaviors that you want as far as what happens when you do a long press. One thing that I miss on these is that they don't have a volume control. There is a thing that you can set up where if you touch them on your left ear, that'll make the volume go down, or on your right ear, that can make the volume go up, but I didn't find that super intuitive, and it wasn't something that I was able to really take advantage of and use. As far as comfort, I would give these a 2 for comfort. I did find that when I had them in my ear for long periods of time, they were uncomfortable and I did want to take them out. And then color choices. There are a lot of fun colors. You can see here I got the blue ones. So for color choices, I would say that these get a 3 because of all the different options that they provide. As far as how well they stay in, these have a tendency to fall out, at least to fall out of my head. So I gave them a 1. They definitely would fall out just when I was sitting at my desk. Eating would make them fall out. And I would never wear these while washing the dishes. That'll tell you how easily they fell out of my head. And as far as exercise, these get a 1 because again, they have a tendency to fall out, especially when I'm moving around. So exercising at home, it's not a big deal. When it's a little bit more safe to go back to the gym, these are definitely something I would never wear in the gym because I know they would fall out, and if they were like rolled on equipment, I would never find it again. Ease to put on, these are definitely easy to just pop in your ear, so these get a 3 for ease to put on. And then also for dealing with hair. These again get a 3 for that. They stay out of the way as I mess with my hair all day, taking it up and putting it down. For an overall score of 27. And these you can pick up today for a price of about $110. These are the Samsung Galaxy Buds Live. So these little guys, they get a 3 for portability, again because they have just a tiny little adorable case, something that would probably fit in my pocket, definitely fits in my purse, very easy to carry around. And these I gave a 3 for sound. These are probably the best sounding ones of all of the ones that I've got. One kind of fun feature that these have that the others don't is that they've got the active noise canceling. So I did play with that a little bit, and for me, I was able to tell a difference. It really kind of quieted the noise of the air conditioner, and then we've got a cat water fountain, so it kind of took those noises out. But whenever JP Barnett spoke, I was actually able to hear that very clearly. With that active noise canceling turned off, whenever he spoke, it was very, very muffled. So the active noise canceling, I found it to be very effective. I also found it in about 10 seconds, it started making me queasy. I left it on for maybe about a minute because I really wanted to play with it and see how it worked. But it did make me queasy for the next hour or 2. So if you are a person who is prone to motion sickness that comes with active noise canceling, I would not recommend these. As far as charge, these again have the nice charging case, so that would extend the battery life of your earbuds. And as far as pairing, again, I give these a 3 just because they're easy to switch back and forth between devices. Once you get them set up, there's just a quick, say connect on your device, and there they are again. As far as controls, I gave these a 2 for controls. They do have a lot of nice touch controls on them, but they don't have that volume control, which is something that I really like to have. And as far as comfort, I gave these guys a 1. These were extremely painful the moment I put them in. My ears just aren't big enough for these. And in fact, they were so painful. I played with them for maybe 30 minutes or an hour, and they were so painful and they kind of dug up my ears a little bit that I wasn't able to put any earbuds in my ear for the next day or 2, especially my right ear, because it was just they just tore at my ears. So if you have smaller ears, then these may not work for you. And because they were so painful, these will not be my headphone choice. Color choices, I gave these a 2 for color choices. I imagine in the future they may roll out more colors. Right now they've got the white and the black, and then the Mystic Bronze. So I picked out the Mystic Bronze because it is kind of a cool color. And I wish they were more comfortable for me because I really do like this color. As far as how well they stay in, these get a 3 for that because once I got them wedged in, there was no way they were falling out. And again, for exercise, they would again get a 3. For me personally, I would trust these to not fall out doing any kind of exercise. Ease to put in, I would give these a 3 as well because they are pretty easy to get inserted into your ear. And as far as how much they affect hair, I would say these are also a 3. You'd be able to play with your hair without affecting the headphones, without needing to make any adjustments there. So these have an overall score of 29, and you can pick them up for $170. So last up, we have the Powerbeats Pro. For portability, I gave these a 2. They do have this nice case, but it is a little bit larger. This is definitely not something that fits in my pocket, not something that would even fit in a typical man pocket. For sound, I gave these a 3. As far as I can tell, these have a really good sound. And again, for charge, because they have this case that provides an extra charge, I gave these a 3. I think I have charged them once since I have purchased them. So for me, that's a huge boon to not need to charge them super frequently. And then for pairing, these also get a 3. I was able to pair them with my laptop and with my phone and be able to switch between the 2 devices without much problem at all. And then also for these, I give them a 3 for controls. They've got the button on the side to be able to pause and play, and then a double tap will skip. But then they also have the rocker for volume. And I really like that. I really like being able to control the volume from the device itself. For the double tap, I actually found I am not as dexterous with my left hand as my right hand. So I have a really hard time double tapping the left one, but as long as I use the right one to do that double tap, then it's the skipping a song is pretty easy. As far as comfort, these get a 2 from me. They are pretty comfortable, but definitely wearing these for hours at a time, they do start to become uncomfortable and I do want to take them off. These have quite a variety of color choices. So for color choices, I gave these a 3. I was able to pick up the blue ones, which apparently I think might be a trend for me. I might be turning into a blue person. And then how well these stay in, these get a 3 for that. Because they wrap around my ear, they're able to stay on really well, and I don't have any worries that they would fall off doing any kind of activity. In addition to that, with the exercise, these would get a 3 from me as well. Because they do stay on very securely, and then because they don't have anything going around the back of my head, I'm able to do floor exercises without any issue. And then as far as the ease to put on, I would say that these are about a 2. You get them inserted and then wrap them around your ear. So they aren't as easy as the others to put on, but they are still fairly easy to put on. And then as far as hair, I would give these a 2 as well, because they do kind of get a little bit caught in the hair that's behind my ears, but I didn't find myself taking them off and putting them back on again after messing with my hair. I think if I was going to go anywhere and if people were going to see me, I might take them off and put them back on again, just because I think that there probably was a little bit of weirdness going on with my hair if I messed with it a lot. So these have an overall score of 29. These tie with the last ones, which were the Samsung Galaxy Buds Live. And these guys are the most expensive of the bunch, and you can pick them up for $200. And you'll see here the rankings of the different headphones, but as far as the ones I plan to keep, I plan to keep the Powerbeats Pro because they were, for me, they ended up being the best overall headphone for something that I can use on a daily basis. And then I also plan to keep these because they are such a tiny case. If I'm just gonna be sitting mostly, then these are a great option for me because since they do fall out, I wouldn't want to do anything active, but they do have a good sound, and as long as I'm staying pretty stationary, when they do fall out, they're not going to go far. So these are the 2 that I plan to keep. I really wanted to like these, but because they are just so incredibly painful, these really aren't an option for me. I think that for most people with larger ears, that they will really work great. So if you've been thinking about these, don't let me dissuade you. These really are a great option as long as they fit well for you. As far as the aftershocks, ultimately I decided not to keep them just because in my exercising, especially right now when I'm not going to the gym, when I'm using an app on my phone to do different exercises, especially floor exercises, I won't be keeping these because of that, just because they don't stay put when you lay down on your back. And then ultimately these, I really was annoyed with the pairing. Sometimes I would find that I would only have one on at a time, and I'd have to repair to get both of them to work as I switch between devices. So for me, the pairing is really the big drawback of these. You may have different experiences with the pairing, but for me, yeah, I found it to be a deal breaker. So those are the results of my quest to find the perfect wireless headphone. And I couldn't find one that managed to fit all of my needs, so I've ended up with 2. And I think they are 2 really good options I'm excited about. And if you've used any of these headphones, I'd love to hear what you think down in the comments below. I know that headphones are a very personal choice, and your experiences may very well differ from mine. I will put links to all the different headphones down in the description below. And if you want to see more reviews like this on Geek Dinks, please hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. Thanks for watching.